at the podium, make sure your phone don't vibrate. And then, sir, if you can count to 10 so we can do a quick
One,
auto check.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Up, cameraman, camerawomen. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon. Here with me today is Mayor Brandon Scott, Deputy Commissioner Kevin Jones, Chief Olufemi Okani from our Public Integrity Bureau, and Evan Shea from our monitoring team. This afternoon, about 1:30 p.m., officers were patrolling the area of 4600 block of York Road when they approached an individual who, as they got out of the vehicle, took off running. While he was running, he pulled a handgun. Officers ordered the individual to drop the gun numerous times. Instead, he elected to fire at our officers that were in the vehicle, striking our patrol vehicle multiple times. As the male was running, he exchanged gunfire with officers. Officers returning fire struck the victim multiple times. They rendered aid, transporting him to the local hospital where he was pronounced deceased. While it's still early in the investigation, I can confirm that the male is 26 years old and the firearm had an extended magazine, both of which were recovered from the scene. We've activated our critical incidents recording policy, and our special investigation response team is working alongside the Maryland Attorney General's office on this investigation. At this time, I'll turn it over to Mayor Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner. Good afternoon, everyone. As you heard from the Commissioner, we had an unfortunate incident where someone lost their life, and we feel for their families. But again, this is another example that we cannot and will not have people indiscriminately walking around with illegal guns and firearms, willing to use them and shoot them indiscriminately at police officers out here in the middle of the day on a block that is always full of people, where we are lucky that not just any of our officers who responded today, but that regular citizens were not hit because someone decided that they were not going to comply and that they were going to start to indiscriminately shoot a weapon. We will continue to work to make the city a safer place. We also will be uplifting Monsi's critical response to this neighborhood to make sure the neighborhood has everything they need following this trauma, this traumatic event. But again, we do not have to have things end like this, and we do not need to have more people shooting and having and bringing out more illegal guns in the city of Baltimore. And it's unfortunate that we're here today, but we can't have it and we won't.
At this time, we'll take questions. We're going to start here with the son and work our way around.
Is there any motive known at this time about what caused the start shooting?
No, all we know is that our officers approached him. He took off running and started firing at our officers. Thankfully, no one was hurt, and our officers did a phenomenal job.
Can you confirm that the victim was a suspect in a Baltimore County murder?
Can't confirm that yet.
What prompted the officer to pursue this individual?
Well, they got out of their vehicle. This is an area we've had some violence recently. They saw someone that they wanted to speak to. As they got out of the vehicle, the suspect took off running, withdrew the weapon. Officers ordered him multiple times to drop the weapon. Instead, he elected to shoot at one of our officers that was in the vehicle, and officers returned fire, shooting the suspect.
Were there any officers that were hurt? I know there was an exchange of guns.
Thank you for asking that. No, none of our officers were hurt. They're a little shaken up being involved in an incident like this.
Can you just talk about the training, sir, when officers encounter a situation like this? What is the training protocol for BPD?
Basically, the muscle memory kicks in. We train so much with our firearms and officer safety and citizen safety. So we want to make sure, and they followed it pretty well this time. They chased the individual, and until he decided to turn and open fire on our officers, did we open fire, and
By the book, you'd say?
pretty much, yes.
And just to add in, I think it's important to note, because we know that we've come a long way. Even after being fired upon this individual, it was those same police officers who were trying to render life-saving efforts.
Commissioner, what can you tell me about the gun? You said it had an extended magazine. At this point, do you know if it was stolen? What do you know about that?
We haven't confirmed anything yet, but we will confirm that as soon as we get more information. But I won't be surprised when the truth comes out about the gun.
The suspect,
Does he have a record? And the mayor, I know you already spoke to this, but if you could just touch more upon just, what you want to say to this neighborhood, that may be shaken, that something like this happened.
The main thing I want to say is that our officers are out there every single day. This is just another example of our officers putting their lives on the line for the citizens of Baltimore. And they did a phenomenal job here. Unfortunately, an individual made a bad decision, decided to shoot at our officers, and they returned fire. But we are going to continue to work every single day to make the city safer.
And just to add, Kyrie, I think that, sorry about that, I think that we hear a lot. None of those officers came out here today that wanted this to happen. What they do and what they were trying to do today is to do what they do every day. Make sure that they come out here, hold people accountable who are having or brandishing illegal guns, right, and turn them over to other parts of the justice system. Unfortunately, this individual decided that he wanted to use that gun. And I think the message to the neighborhood is that these folks are here to help protect them, that they want to take people off the streets who will shoot. Again, this is York Road, right? You cannot drive up and down this street at any time of the day, let alone in the early afternoon, and not be full of people in cars. And that the police department and these officers are out here trying to remove those individuals from those neighborhoods.
Thank you, guys.
Just a quick detailed question. You might have said this. Were the officers patrol, other unit, and were they uniformed or not uniformed?
They were the district action team. They were in their uniform with their outer carrier. They were in a vehicle that's a black, kind of unmarked car, but it had ghost marking on it, which means that you can see it. But he clearly knew they were officers.
How many times was the vehicle struck? Do you know?
Multiple times. We don't know
10,
yet.
12, 15?
At least 4 or 5, we believe.
And how many officers?
How many officers
Yeah.
fired?
Or did he fire at?
There was an officer in the car and 3 others pursuing him on foot.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
I'm going to hang back here for